Good morning, everybody. Show of hands, who was singing along with Homeward Bound just now? It's a good one. It's a very good one. Well, welcome to First Parish in Kingston. My name is Reverend Emily Bruce, and I'm the minister of this congregation. Whether you are joining us here in our meeting house or on Zoom, everybody wave hi to the Zoom folks. Hello. We are very grateful to have your presence here with us this morning. So thank you for being with us on this glorious, sunny, and not too cold day. As Unitarian Universalists, we are a people of diverse beliefs, but we share a common faith, a faith that every single person is worthy of love, a faith that what we do in and for our world today matters, and a faith that we are connected by an interdependent web of existence to each other and to our earth home. So whoever you are, whomever you love, however you make meaning out of this world around us, you are most welcome to be with us in worship today. Our worship theme this month is digging deep into ourselves. And in our service today, we're digging deep into what it means to be grateful. In this week of Thanksgiving, amidst a very challenging time for our country, are you finding ways to be grateful? Does Thanksgiving feel like a blessing or a chore? Maybe a little of both, huh? Depends on if you're cooking, right? Maybe you haven't thought about that at all yet. So wherever you are on that spectrum, it's my hope and my prayer that our service today will make some space for you to think about gratitude. The late, great playwright Thornton Wilder once said this: "We can only be said to be alive in those moments when our hearts are conscious of our treasures." So my prayer is that this service will make space for you to see and appreciate the treasures in your life. We will begin our service as we do every week by taking some time to breathe. So I first encourage you to silence your cell phone if you haven't yet. Get comfortable in your seat and join me in taking a deep breath in and out. Man, that felt good. Let's do it again. In and out. Whatever you carry in your mind and on your heart this morning, try to let it rest for the next hour while you are with us in this space. Find some quiet, find some peace, and find some time for renewal for yourself in this space, free from all the world outside has going on right now. One more time, in and out. Our service will begin with lighting our chalice, the symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith, and I would like to ask for a volunteer to come up and light the chalice while Paula Fisher, who is our worship associate, offer some words. And there was some competition last week, so I would encourage you to be bold and get that hand in the air. If you want to do this, I'm looking for a hand. Anybody? All right, come on up, Jeff. Thank you so much.
Good morning, my name is Paula Fisher, and I'm a member of the Music Committee. This morning we light our chalice with these words by Katie Sivani Gelfand. We light our chalice as a symbol of gratitude as we celebrate the abundance of lives together. In this sanctuary, we harvest bushels of strength from one another and offer our crop with the hands of compassion and generosity. In the authentic and gentle manner of our connections, we cultivate a simple sweetness to brighten our spirits. May we be grateful for the ways we nourish and uplift each other, for it is the sharing of this hallowed time together that sustains us all. Come, friends, let us worship together. I invite you to rise in body or in spirit for our opening hymn number 349 in the gray hymnal, We Gather Together.
Together in joyful thanksgiving, a praise.
When we give, we say yes to something of value. In this congregation, we take up an offering each week and say yes to the values of our UU faith and yes to this beloved community. Please give as you are able. Today's offering will be gratefully received, and our offering today is Homeward Bound by Marta Keene.
In the quiet, misty morning, when the moon has gone to bed, when the sparrows stop their singing, and the sky is clear and red,
when the summer ceased its gleaming, when the corn is past its prime, when the cancer's lost its meaning, I'll be homeward bound in time. Ride me not to the pastures, take me not to the plow, set me free to find my
Our reading this morning is from the book Help, Thanks, Wow. The Three Essential Prayers by Anne Lamott. In this book, Lamott encourages us to not get too bogged down on whom or what we pray to. Let's say prayer is communication from our hearts to the great mystery, whether we call it that. God, or the cosmic muffin, or maybe not me. This reading is pulled from the section of her book about prayers of thanks. Thanks is the short form of the original prayer I used to say in gratitude for any unexpected grace in my life. Now as then, most of the time for me, gratitude is a rush of relief that I dodged a bullet. That cop didn't notice me speed by. Or the dog didn't get hit by someone else who was speeding by. It's easy to thank God for life when things are going well, but life is much bigger than we give it credit for, and much of the time, it's harder than we would like. Most of us figure out by a certain age that life unspools in cycles, some lovely, some painful, but in no predictable order. So you could have love, painful, and painful again, which I think we can agree is not at all fair. You don't have to like it, and you are always welcome to file a brief with the complaints department. But if you've been around for a while, you know that much of the time, if you are patient and paying attention, you will see that God will restore what the locusts have taken away. But this revelation is not for the faint of heart. Some of us with tiny paranoia issues think that so much information and understanding is being withheld from us by our colleagues, by our family, by life, by God. Knowledge that would save us and help us break the code and enable us to experience life with peace and amusement. But in our quieter moments, we remember that A, there are no codes, and B, if you're paying attention, plenty is being revealed. We are too often distracted by the need to burnish our surfaces, to look good so that other people won't know what screwed up messes we are, or our mate, or our kids, or our finances are. But if you gently help yourself back to the present moment, you see how life keeps stumbling along and how you may actually find your way through another ordinary or impossible day. In the face of everything, we slowly come through. We manage to make new constructs and baskets to hold what remains and what has newly appeared. We come to know or reconnect with something rich and okay about ourselves. And at some point, we cast our eyes to the beautiful skies above all the crap we're wallowing in, and we whisper, "Thank you."
I love Anne Lamott. I am grateful for Anne Lamott. And also, for the record, I will now start every single prayer with, "Oh, cosmic muffin." I mean, I love muffins, and, you know. So like her, I believe that life unspools in cycles, like a spiral. You're still moving forward, but you're not moving in a straight line. You cycle through things over and over and over again. Good things and bad things, and good things and bad things, and back and forth. But it's often the bad we notice, right? It's the bad we hold on to. It's the bad that takes up all that real estate in our brains. Because if you get painful, and then you get painful again, and then you get painful again, it can be really easy to believe that that's all life is, right? You can find yourself believing that the universe is somehow conspiring against you, or like she said, that people are withholding information that could help you. And then that can help you along the path of believing that life will never be easy, or safe, or peaceful for you and those you love. I would not blame any of you if you've been having some of those thoughts these days. And what is going to happen next in this cycle of life that we are living? I don't know. Will it continue to be painful? I don't know. Will our worst fears be realized? I don't know. I really don't know. The Christian theologian Paul Tillich once wrote that the opposite of faith is not doubt, but certainty. Because faith is the hope for things unseen, while certainty has already decided how the story ends. Faith believes in possibility, while certainty only seeks to have its fears confirmed. Faith hopes, while certainty is hopeless. So for the record, I'm putting my chips with faith today and every day, and not certainty. And one of the things that helps me, that I think can help all of us do that, is to be grateful. And I know being grateful is such a trite kind of, hashtag grateful and all that kind of stuff. I know that especially this time of year, it's all over the place, and it may feel maybe cheap or shallow. But what I'm talking about is being grateful for what we have, for the blessings of our life, our health, our homes, some financial security if we're able to have it. And that is all well and good. We should be grateful for those things. There are so many people in the world. In fact, the vast majority of people in the world need what we have, and they don't have it. So it is truly a blessing to be so fortunate. But what if we don't have some of those things that I just listed? Financial security, money, security, homes, health, all of that. What if we don't have some of those things? Or what if we had them and then we lose them? What if we're cycling through some kind of painful episode that brings us to our knees? That can dramatically change the shape of our gratitude, can't it? It can make us aware in ways that we weren't aware before. That's when our interdependent web can catch us. That is when we can find out what it means to actually be held. We humans have a hard time letting ourselves be held. We have a hard time accepting help, don't we? We're right there wanting to help others, but when someone offers it to us, it can be hard to accept. If someone does something nice to you, how often do you find yourself thinking, I should really pay them back for that kindness? Like it's a transaction, not a movement of the heart. And it can even make us anxious, just the mere act of accepting someone else's generosity. What is meant as a gesture of kindness can somehow, in our minds, turn into a burden. Does anybody relate to this? Anyone have these feelings? I know you do. And I know I do, because this Southern girl, for those of you who don't know, I'm originally from New Orleans, this Southern girl was raised to send a thank you card to everyone, like within a week or two also. None of this thank you card 6 months later. To always contribute something to the dinner party, even when you've been told not to bring something. You have to bring something. And to always return that pie dish with another pie in it. Anyone? Yeah. And that's all well and good in a normal, polite society. But we're cycling through a pretty painful spell right now, and I'm feeling the need to dig a little bit deeper. One of our 6 shared Unitarian Universalist values is generosity. And so often we think that means being generous to others, often with money. And I won't lie to you, it does mean that. It does mean that some of the time. But that's often where we stop. And generosity is so much more than that. It means cultivating a spirit of gratitude, which also allows us to cultivate hope. That means being generous and accepting generosity from others, in word and in deed. It means showing up for each other. How much does it matter when people show up for you when you really need them? That is generosity. It means sharing the work of our hearts and our hands, because this is how we know we're connected, right? This is how we know we're in the interdependent web. This is how we know we are held and loved beyond measure. In our reading, Lamott wrote, quote, "We are too often distracted by the need to burnish our surfaces, to look good so that other people won't know what screwed up messes we are." My friends, I will cut to the chase. We are all screwed up messes in some way, shape, or form. So maybe, just maybe, we could start being grateful for all the ways that we can hold each other in our mess. How I can hold you and how you can hold me. Maybe we could start embracing the fact that none of us are getting along by ourselves, that our community's foundation is built on reciprocity, this idea that we share and we give and we support each other in all the ways and all the time. So whatever you can't manage, maybe somebody else will. Maybe we can stop focusing on how we may feel beholden to others because of their kindness, and instead just let ourselves be held. Yes? Yes. The reason I bring all of this into our service today is that I don't want us to waste any more energy on burnishing our surfaces. I don't think that's a good use of our energy right now. I want us to stop worrying so much about looking like we're holding it all together, and that means holding our grief and not processing it or expressing it. Instead, we can turn that energy toward gratitude. Gratitude for the miracle, because it is a miracle that we are even here, that you, specifically you, through all the X and Y chromosomes and all the centuries and generations of people, you were born and you are here right now. That is a miracle. Is it not? That is a miracle. And that we're able to live in this wonderful, wonderful, broken country. That is a miracle too. Gratitude that we have a future worth fighting for, and that we are able to have faith in things unseen and still hope for them every single day. Because none of us knows how it's going to turn out. And if you think you do, if you think you know the history or the future, the end of this grand American experiment, if you think you know the end, then perhaps you might reconsider the certainty that you have resigned yourself to. Maybe you should rethink whether or not you actually know the end of the story. And how might you shift that certainty to hope? And most of all, my friends, let us be grateful for each other, right? These messy, imperfect lives that we try to live with and for each other, this interdependent web of people and animals and plants and the earth, this family of things, as our patron Saint Mary Oliver calls it, to which we all belong. I am grateful for that. I invite you to lean into that and be held by that as we hold each other, because we will be grateful for these bonds again and again and again as this unknown future unspools in front of us. And as we do all of this grateful making and thanking, let us cast our eyes to the beautiful skies above, as Lamont writes, amidst all this crap we're wallowing in, and may we say together, thank you. And we're going to start right now by practicing gratitude with our bread communion ritual. So I invite the ushers to come forward and grab our baskets. They're going to move around the room with baskets full of bread. There's a couple different kinds, so take a piece, but don't eat it yet. I repeat, do not eat the bread. I'm looking at certain people that I know will eat the bread. Do not eat the bread. If you are gluten-free, there is a small cup in each basket with some gluten-free rice crackers that has not touched the rest of the bread. I've tried to keep it separate. And if you don't want to participate in this ritual for whatever reason, please let the basket pass you. The purpose of our free faith is that we follow our own paths for truth and meaning. So if that means you don't want to participate in this today, that is perfectly okay. The ritual of breaking bread together is one that has been shared by the human family in various forms throughout millennia, giving thanks for the harvest and offering prayers that the earth will sustain life once again. In the Christian tradition, the disciples broke bread together during a Passover meal on the eve of Jesus' crucifixion. As they did, they remembered the Jews' escape to freedom from enslavement in Egypt. So the disciples broke bread together in the depth of their grief and their fear, asserting that the forces of empire, violence, and evil would not extinguish the forces of life and hope and love. This ritual connects us in ways that we can only begin to know, through time and space, to history, to all the people across thousands and thousands of years who have looked into each other's eyes across a common table. And it connects us to the earth and to the magnificent and mysterious cycle of life in which we are all play a part. This morning, we honor the deep and ancient roots of this ritual and lift up a practice of gratitude for all the ways in which we are nourished and fed by our families, by this community, and by our Mother Earth. And now I've reached the end of my script, and I'm going to wait for them to finish before we start the ritual. It's okay. Again, don't eat the bread. I know. I know some of you better than you think I do. And you're just gonna like take a little nibble. Don't do it. Don't do it. Man, y'all are being choosy this morning. It's all good. Okay. I'm going to ask you all to close your eyes and take a deep breath in and out. In the space of our community gathered here, let us give thanks for the larger forces that hold us. For the earth, its large body which holds us, sustains us, and gives us life. For this meeting house, for the floor, walls, and roof of this building, crafted by the ancestors of this community, that provides a sacred space of worship for all. For the ultimate mystery, the source and sustenance of all creation, that some call God, some call cosmic muffin now, but knows many shapes, many names, many identities. For the abiding force of love that holds us, each of us, and will never let us go. There is so much for us to be grateful for. I now invite you to hold up your piece of bread and look at it. Turn it around. See the miracle of it, made from earth and water, warmed by fire. As you notice the texture, I invite you to smell it. What does it smell like? All food has a scent, so what are you smelling right now and how are you responding? Is your mouth starting to water? Are you ready for lunch? Is the scent bringing up memories or feelings that you associate with baking, with the kitchen, with home? Again, I invite you to close your eyes. Don't eat the bread yet. Close your eyes and contemplate your own gratitude for all the things that give you life, all the things that sustain you. What do you have to be grateful for in this moment, in this week, in this month, and in this year? Who are the beloved faces that you are seeing in your mind's eye right now? What are the experiences and memories that are surfacing in your heart? Where are the sources of wisdom, joy, delight, and peace that your soul turns to like a flower in sunlight? In what ways has life been generous to you with these blessings that you are calling up in your heart right now? Please take a moment in silence to relish this generosity of people, places, ideas, and things that nourish your heart, your mind, and your soul every day. And speak your gratitude for all of those things silently on your heart now. And now you're invited to eat your bread. Savor it. Chew it. Notice the textures, the flavors. give you a minute to finish and swallow. And once your mouth is no longer full, or mostly not full, I invite you to repeat after me. It is a blessing. It is a blessing. It is a blessing to be. It is a blessing to be. It is a blessing to be here. It is a blessing to be here. It is a blessing to be here together. It is a blessing to be here together. It is indeed, friends. May it always be so, and amen.
As we bring our service to a close, there are a few announcements to share. All are welcome to join us for coffee hour in the Beale House across the street. If you are visiting, please be sure to check out the Information Island welcome table to find info and sign up for the newsletter. Starting today and through December 8th, we are collecting hats, scarves, and gloves, all ages, all genders, all sizes, for the Matthew Mission Food Pantry. We need to get everything to them by Saturday, December 14th, so the last Sunday to bring stuff in is December 8th. Our Silver Bells Fair is coming up on Saturday, December 7th, and we need volunteers. See the sign-up board at Info Island and talk to Deb Herlihy if you have any questions. Now please rise in body or in spirit for our closing hymn, We Give Thanks, number 1010 in the Teal hymnal.
Boy, that was a quickie. Friends, as we extinguish our chalice, I ask you to bring all of this gratitude that you have generated here today out with you into our world that we all know is sorely in need of some gratitude. For the gratitude for each other, gratitude for this community, and gratitude for the world such as it is today and every day. And go in peace with love for yourselves and love for each other. And happy Thanksgiving! Amen.
Thank you.